Hi, I'm Jenny Maas here for TheWrap, speaking with Richard Madden about Bodyguard. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Well, how did I do it when I got home at the end of the night? I didn't really. I think that was it. The nature of it is, and the nature of how we shot it, which was quite a grueling schedule, was that you kind of can't let yourself kind of get rid of all that tension, because then the next morning you need to build it all back up again. So you just kind of keep yourself ticking over of constant levels of anxiety and stress. I'm excited to see what ideas Jed's got. I mean, it was never our intention to do more than one. So just the fact that we're talking about it is all kind of a new thing to me. So I'm going to meet up with Jed in a couple of weeks and see what thoughts he's got on what happens with David Budd in the future.
What do you think David could do? Because things ended well for him. They wrapped up kind of nicely.
And he's been through like a couple of heavy going months. I'm like, maybe season 2 is watching him on vacation but not doing anything pretty stressful. It's a different show altogether. I don't know where we take him. I suppose that's on Jed's brilliant mind, and he has a really fascinating mind. So I'm keen to see what surprises he'd give us for David's next move. That it's brilliant. It's a whole different adventure, a different ride to anything I've ever done. I've never sang and danced in something, so that's a whole new challenge for me, but an exciting one. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I describe it as Moulin Rouge on acid about Elton John, which sounds like something I'd want to watch. And I think that's what it is. It's a really exciting ride, and it goes through these really kind of dramatic, intense scenes into these different song and dance numbers that in themselves tell a huge part of Elton John's story and his life. So it's been a different challenge for me, kind of working out how to tell that story through not just acting, but a really fun one. And Taron Egerton's brilliant, and Dexter Fletcher directing it is in his element, I think. I was filming at the time. I was not part of that reunion, sadly, but I'd been at a friend's wedding and there was a lot of the Game of Thrones guys there. So I kind of got to have my own mini reunion away from that. I can't wait for the final season.
And watching it as a viewer is better than being part of it, because people can't bother you about spoilers.
Yeah, and because I've not got the spoilers, I'm not like, all right, here's that bit, because I read it and I know what's going to happen. I'm like, what's this and who's that and what's going to go on there? It's much more exciting. People suffering from PTSD tend to not want to talk about it or acknowledge it. Very much is what you see in David's character. So that's something I had to kind of delicately try and create with the writer and the director of how we navigate that. And the feedback from it's been really great from people, actually, because I think it's a subject that's maybe not touched on a lot in film and television, and when it is, it's sometimes done in a kind of a bit of a crude way of there's a loud noise and suddenly we get a flashback to Afghanistan and he's in the middle of it. And I think that's not actually at all how a lot of PTSD sufferers struggle with it, and talking to people before and after since, saying, sometimes it's just a huge underlying anxiety they have, or there's lots of other ways that it expresses and affects them every day that's maybe not shown on screen. And I like to think that we've touched on it in a way that's a bit more truthful and honest than sometimes how we see movie PTSD.